Hey, UEFA Champions League, dude, Julian, it's been a minute, man. Listen, I can't lie, with everything going on, I think these clubs are kind of getting back into it. Dude, Barcelona, Dortmund, that just right off the gun. When I saw that matchup, I'm thinking in my mind, Real Madrid is dying. I'm talking about they are dying for Dortmund to win. And then on the other hand, I really feel like I don't know how to say it. I feel like maybe Manchester City, even like a Bayern Munich. I think they are going to kill for Barcelona to win that game. Like, how do you think about it?
I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. It's a pretty even matchup. I think both teams, not necessarily hot, but not necessarily cold either. Both shooting at the top of the table. Let me pull up the table super quick. So Barcelona 3, Dortmund 4. So it's going to be a lot of implications in getting into that first round. Obviously, this is those big matchups that we like about this new league phase. Is like hoping every goal counts, every point counts, because you want to get into that top 8. You don't want to play that playoff game, play that extra game. You want to skip ahead, especially with the way the schedule is now. But this one's interesting and it's fun. To me though, man, I'm going to have to go Barcelona. They just seem to be rolling on all cylinders all the time. Obviously, they had a weird hiccup against Las Palmas in the La Liga, but in Champions League play, man, they've been unreal, right? They're 18-5, have a 13 goal differential. That is the best goal differential in all of Champions League right now. They've won the last 4 games. I'm feeling pretty good about them. Dortmund also have looked really good. They did suffer an injury from Otamendi, which kind of hurt them in that. What was that game they lost to Real Madrid 5-2? So that was a big blow for them. So this one's going to be a little interesting. I think it could go either way. Either Barcelona can just run away with this game because of how high powered they've been and the way Hansi Flick has been having this team play. It seems like no matter who they plug and play, put piece in, it just works. And that's what I've been saying forever. All these Xavi defenders saying like, "Oh, Xavi's not that bad. You need to keep him." Also, dude, this team is completely different over Hansi Flick. There seems to be an identity that they're building that's actually working and they're playing well. But with all that being said, I just think the attacking power that Barcelona has right now is just going to be too much for Borussia Dortmund. And Champions League play, Dortmund, they've looked good against the teams they're supposed to be, obviously. Mm-hmm. And that's what's helped them lead into that 4th place spot. But that Real Madrid game, I still look back at that and I'm like, man, like that's a bad loss against a Real Madrid team that we're now seeing and been saying is not the same Real Madrid we're used to. So, yeah, to me, I got Barcelona. I do think it's going to be close. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I see it maybe like a 3-2 Barcelona personally. And I believe it is
It's in Barcelona, right? I believe so.
No, it is in
Signal.
I'm trying to play. Yeah,
Signal
it's in Dortmund. Yeah,
it's in Dortmund.
So, but I still think Barcelona has what it takes to win away because I'm a huge Adeyemi fan, and the fact that he's out is still like, if I'm a Dortmund fan, I'd be worried because he is like, that guy has been unreal for them when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, dude. Listen, I think honestly, I think if you're Dortmund, you gotta be a little bit worried that Fernand's what's that dude's name? Fernand
Torres. You better hope he doesn't. I mean, if you're Dortmund, you better hope he plays because that guy is fucking buns. That guy's so bad.
I mean, he scored. I think you got to be a little bit worried if you're Dortmund, if this guy's even scoring. I mean, granted, the goal was, kind of an interesting one against Mallorca this past week in La Liga play for Barcelona. But, dude, I agree with you, Julian. I think Barcelona, they've been really firing at all cylinders right now. I think Barca fans are happy. They're excited. Obviously, like you mentioned, that Las Palmas hiccup, those types of things happen. But who scored in that game again? Rafinha. I think this guy has been probably one of the biggest storylines. I don't even know where you start with him. If it's Rafinha.
Everybody wanted him out. I wanted him out. I thought he wasn't that great. I thought he was one-dimensional.
Dude,
but
now he's the captain of the team. Yeah, and I mean, dude, and obviously Robert Lewandowski's doing his thing. Pau Cubarsí in the back has looked well. Jules Koundé on the wing, and then obviously Alejandro Baldi on the other side on the left wing. I think both. I mean, listen, dude. I think this whole team is all around. They're stacked. I think they're good to go. I think even the bench is looking fine now that you're starting to finally get a couple minutes back in Gavi. Obviously, Pedri's playing well. Frankie De Jong could come off of the bench if you need him. I think this team has enough weapons to be able to beat a Dortmund team who I believe, like you said, obviously Kareem Adeyemi being out is a big miss. But I think, Dortmund lately you can kind of seen, they're very, I want to say their striker, he's not Senegalese, he's Ghanaian, not Ghanaian, from Guinea, Sergi Gunasi. I'm probably butchering his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Listen, he's been quite vital. Obviously, he did his thing last season with Stuttgart. He's been doing his thing this season as well with Dortmund. But I think, they're very almost too one-dimensional. And I really feel like Hansi Flick's tactics, like you said, Julian, he's been able to work it well this season and really adapt to the other oppositions. I mean, we kind of saw it in that Bayern Munich game. Bayern Munich can break you down in many ways, shapes, or forms. And also it does help that Hansi Flick is German, so he's got a little bit in the back of his mind already knowing what's going on. But I agree with you, dude. I think 3-1. I'm thinking 3-1 or maybe even a 2-0 potentially. I think it's going to be a good game. I think Dortmund's going to put up a battle, but I think second half, I think Barcelona is really going to be able, if you bring on even a Pau Victor. But our next matchup that we're talking a little bit about is Atalanta, Real Madrid. Obviously, Barca's.
I love this game. I love this game.
What do you love about it, Julian? What immediately pops out to you?
All I want is this is the Atalanta coming out party because this team has been getting slept on since last year. They won the Europa League, the only team to defeat Bayern Leverkusen the entire season, and it came down to the end. They choked the final game. But either way, this team has been so slept on, and I'm going to say it right now, they have the most underrated player in all of world football, and that is Lookman. This guy, Lookman, has been absolutely tearing up Serie A and Europa League. He didn't play this last Champions League, but this guy is a game changer, dude. 7 goals in 11 games in Serie A, 4 assists, attacking midfield, left wing kind of player. And I think this is going to be the game where he finally showcases himself to the rest of these casuals, because this guy's not getting talked about enough. Obviously, it's Atalanta, and the PR is not great in Italy like it used to be. But no, man, I like this game. And this is a Real Madrid that's struggling. They looked pretty poor against Liverpool. Granted, it's Liverpool, which I think right now is the best team in the world. This Real Madrid team, they just Ancelotti. Oh my God, I can't say his name.
Enchiladas, not playing.
And he can't get this team going and cooking right like he did last year. He was able to kind of makeshift the team last year without a striker, and it worked. Obviously, they won the Champions League somehow. I don't know how without a striker. Then you bring in a guy in Mbappe who I've said from the jump, he is not a striker. Stop playing him as a striker. It doesn't work. He is a left-sided player. And, they put him on the left side this time, this previous game against Liverpool, but it didn't work. It just seems like with Real Madrid, nothing's working the way they intend to, at least at the highest level. Obviously, they're getting results, but they did just lose yesterday against Athletic Club. Like, they beat Getafe, and they're beating, what is it, Leganes, and then Osasuna. But like, it comes to like the big dogs, even somebody like at the level of Athletic Club, like they're struggling. They just look like it's just too many egos, and they're trying to build this Galacticos 2.0, and it's not working. I think from the jump, everybody knew, if you outside of the Real Madrid fans, like this thing wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to work. Yeah. And I don't know if Ancelotti got a little too comfortable and like thinking he has this amazing tactics and he can make it work because that's what he did last year. But like, it's finally catching up to him, and you're seeing the frustrations. You're seeing Mbappe not look as clinical as he used to be. You're seeing him like getting blocked on a pen. Like, it's just I don't know. And I think you're getting an Atalanta team that is so hot right now, that has so much to prove. They're playing with house money. They got this guy who's like almost a secret weapon that no one's talking about. I think this is a recipe for an upset. I'm going Atalanta here.
Yeah, dude. I love the eagerness, and I'm gonna back you up on that.
At home too.
At home.
At home in Italy.
Honestly, dude, I'll keep it real with you. Enchilada, whatever his name is. I agree with you, Julian. The guy's been getting cooked all season like a dang enchilada. This man has been getting fried. And with all respect for Carlo Ancelotti, he's one of the greatest mastermind technicians ever to play the game or to ever coach the game. Dude, it just seems like this tactic of just get out there and throw these speedsters, throw these demon players that are incredible and get out there and just go do the job is not working. I mean, you lose to Lille. Obviously that Dortmund game, you look suspect. You lose to AC Milan at home. If I'm not wrong, they just lost. I forgot who it was their last game, but they lost the last leg in the Champions League in the fifth week.
They lost to Liverpool.
Lost to thank you. Yeah, lost to Liverpool, obviously away as well. But dude, and that's another thing. Atalanta, looking at it, I was just looking at a little bit the table. They're sitting currently right now I'll tell you guys in a second. I just saw it. Pull it up. They're in 5th place. They're right behind Dortmund. 2 teams that we just previously talked about, Barcelona and Dortmund. They're in 5th place. This Atalanta team is not just fighting to just be able to say, oh, we moved on to the playoffs. They're trying to get a top 8 spot, Julian. This is a team, on the contrary, Real Madrid is trying to fight to stay alive. They have 3 games left, and it doesn't really get much easier for Real Madrid after this. So listen, I think honestly, I think Atalanta's licking their chops. They see a team that's fragile right now. No Vinicius. Rodrigo just came back. No other Militao.
Yeah. Real Madrid is in last place at 20, not last seed to advance. They're in 24th.
Correct. And that's the thing. Listen, obviously PSG is
9-9 goal differential, 0 goal differential.
It speaks a lot. They haven't been performing, obviously, to the standards they have. Like you said, I think you even kind of said it, Julian, yourself. Mbappe got a penalty saved last night against Atletico Bilbao, got a penalty saved against Liverpool. You can just tell his confidence is not there. Easily. They won that Getafe matchup earlier this week in La Liga, but they should have won that game 7-0. Easily. And I want to give a shout out real quick. I think you gave praise to Adeola Lookman more than deserved. The guy's a gem. I want to give a shout out to the Argentino-Italian Matteo Retugi. 14 goals, 9 assists this season. The man has been incredible. The man has been lights out. I think, honestly, he's already got a call up with Italy. I think he's just going to get more call-ups in the future, and it's not going to stop.
I love this Atalanta team. I love it. They're so high-powered.
And the thing is, obviously, no Cuadrado. He's injured, the Colombian. He won't be there for this game. But I think Gasparelli, I think he's a mastermind technician. I can tell you, Julian, with 100% confidence, he's not afraid of who he plays. You can see this guy and how he goes into every single game. They're strong. They play well. Obviously, Atalanta has only dropped points, I believe. I can't remember the first one, but they also did tie Celtic.
They haven't. They tied Celtic, which is odd. That was a weird one. But then they drew Arsenal. They Arsenal
did in that first game of the season.
Atalanta has only given up 1 goal. 11 goals, 1 scored on. They have a 10 goal. 1 goal given up in how many Champions League games? 5 Champions League games, given up 1 goal against Arsenal. Come on,
and they didn't even give up a goal in that game. Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
That's kind of where I'm at. Let's move on to the next one. What do you got? And then we'll do our rapid fire, our last game of the week.
Oh, what are we thinking? Give me.
I got one. Unless you don't want to go with. Unless you want to.
Hit me with it. What are you thinking?
All right, let's go. Leverkusen versus Inter. Leverkusen playing at home against Inter. I think this is going to be a pretty fun. And Inter is a team that I think is playing really well. In general, I like the way this team is built, but it seems like lately they've struggled to kind of finish. So that would be my one concern, especially being at home. I do think this is a pretty damn good game, and I'm really interested to see how this all plays out. Inter is second in the leaderboards, only behind Liverpool, and they have not given up a goal this entire Champions League. 7 goals, 0 scored on. So
That's
defensively,
insane.
they've been super stout, that's their MO, like they play transition ball and they play it well. There's not a team on the planet that is better at playing transition ball than they are. They have
Yeah.
some of the most dynamic strikers and left and wing backs in the league in DiMarco. And then obviously up top, you have Hurtado and Thuram and so much. And then in the middle, Barella. And I like this Inter team a lot. I think they're built pretty damn well, and they're built to win Champions League trophies. And I think they do that. Leverkusen, it seems like, I don't want to say they've been figured out, but the high has come down. They're not where they once were. They've still played really well. They're still in 6th place in the Champions League table. They obviously destroyed Salzburg. They got beat up by Liverpool, which I thought was going to be a lot closer of a game personally. But they drew Brest, and then they beat Milan 1-0. That was a terrible game by Milan. I remember that actually. And then they destroyed Feyenoord. So it's just a matter of what Bayer Leverkusen you're going to get. So, but I do think it's going to be a pretty low scoring game nonetheless. This has like 1-0 written all over it, in my opinion. I'm going to go Inter with the edge because they've just been so solid defensively. I like Inter 1-0 here.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you. I'm going to go as well. I'm going to go right off the bat. I'm going to say Inter. Give me 2-1, though. I believe Leverkusen are playing at home. But for Leverkusen, their home field advantage just doesn't seem to be the most, maybe I'm wrong. Probably people are going to chew me out right now in the comments. Listen, I think a lot of times it can be a little hit or miss. I agree with you, Julian. I don't want to say this team, obviously, they're frauds. They're on fraud alert. They're garbage. They're terrible, this and that. Obviously not. They just did beat in the DFB Pokal, Bayern Munich this past weekend. So obviously this is not a fraud team. This is a solid team, like you said, 6th place right now in the UEFA Champions League table. I think a lot of things can happen. Inter Milan. Inter Milan. Sorry, I'm still thinking Inter Miami, but yeah, Inter Milan can bring a lot. Obviously, Lautaro Martinez, Thurman, like you said, even a guy, the Iranian Taremi. I mean, he's been good this season.
Coming off the
bench, the Austrian Aranovic has been well. Obviously,
they're very deep.
They're deep. Obviously, the front line, and the thing is, they're not just deep with kind of guys that you would say they're all very similar like players. The way if you look at them and the way they play, especially their strikers, their wingers, with Tejan Buchanan as well and guys like that. So I think
he don't play, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, my point is though, there's a mindset that's been installed in this team, and I think Simeone has done. Excuse me, not Simeone. Ignazi has done. He's kind of installed this mindset within Inter Milan to really be able to get the guys functioning on where they need to go, and it's been like
quick
this the
and
past
fast.
couple of years. Quick and fast, roll out, move. Even 35-year-old Mkhitaryan, man. Listen, the Armenian's not giving up, brother. He's playing well. He looks good. I agree with you. I think 2-1.
Oh, and Summers in net, dude has been playing like a monster, bro.
Somers has been good. And dude, we got to shout out. He was one of my boys over at Marseille last season, Joaquin Correa, who has, if I'm not wrong, 2 goals and 2 assists this season. And I want to say in 4 competitions only. So he hasn't got the most minutes, but still, though, when he's been on the field, he's been good. He's been executing what he needs to do, and he's been playing well. So, yeah, give me Inter Milan for this game.
All right, and those are our big matchups of the week as we kind of break down. But so now for the rest of these games, we're going to lightning round through them. Before we do that, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the content. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys are enjoying this type of breakdown, go do that. And also, if you want to listen on audio platforms, we just created a new Spotify profile. So that's going to be linked down below. So go follow that. Same thing, it's going to be on Apple Music. Anywhere you get your podcast, go over there, leave a rating, leave a review, so on and so forth. And if you want to download, you can. If you can't watch the video version, you can listen to it on your audio platform while you drive. But anyways, let's get into the lightning round. All right, first one, that is Dinamo Zagreb versus Celtic. I'm going Celtic here. Easy win.
Yeah, give me Celtic. Not a betting man, but I'll take the parlay on the boys in the green.
All right, we got Girona versus Liverpool. Girona, not the same team. Not the same team at all. It's very evident. They've lost a lot of their best players, and their coach. Well, no, the coach is still there. But, yeah, Liverpool, like I said, I think Liverpool's the best team in the world. They are unstoppable. They're on every single level of the ball. This is Liverpool all day, and it might get bloody. I don't care if they're away or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Listen, good for Girona. The game's going to be in Spain, but Liverpool is arguably the best team in the world right now, or one of the best. Give me Liverpool all day.
All right, we're skipping Atalanta versus Real Madrid, and we're skipping Bayer Leverkusen versus Inter. We're moving on to Brest versus PSV. Both teams rolling in hot. Brest exceeding expectations what we thought. PSV has in the past few games have looked great. Malik Tillman's been on a roll. Ricardo Pepi scoring goals. They're still dominating the Dutch league. So this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup, but I do like Brest at home here. I think they've looked really well against high-quality teams versus PSV, on the other hand, has tended to struggle against some of the higher competition. So I'm going Brest here. I like Brest winning 1-0.
Man, you know what, dude? God, it pains me to say it, but I got to disagree. I think PSV, dude. Give me PSV. Incoming Malik Tillman hat trick, baby. Let's check it out.
All right. Now we got Club Brugge versus Sporting CP. This one's a really interesting one. I think Club Brugge, they've kind of flown under the radar. They've lost some games that have been really close. They put teams to their wits' end. They haven't gotten the results. They haven't been able to finish, but this is a Club Brugge team that I think has played well, has had a lot of unfortunate cards and red cards and things like that, and not being able to put it in the back of the net. That seems to be their biggest struggle right now versus Sporting. It seems like all they can do is just light it up and put it in the back of the net, especially I cannot say his name. I think he's Swedish, the Swedish striker who's looking at getting a move over to was it City? I think they're looking at
Arsenal. Anywhere right now, man. He can move.
But they did just lose their coach to Man United. We'll see how well they can balance that out. So this is a hard game to bet on, but I'm going to go Sporting here. I think they're just a little bit more talented, but losing your coach in mid Champions League season is kind of that's a tough loss. But yeah, I'm going Sporting here.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think Maxi Araujo has still been firing well. Trincao, like you said, the Swede himself, Alexander Groykins, So give me Sporting. I think, dude, they're looking hot, man. They're looking good.
All right, we got RB Leipzig versus Aston Villa. I think this might be a little closer than we might think. Leipzig has having a quietly good season, but Villa, man, they've been struggling to score lately. They start off the season pretty hot, but now it's not so much. But I still like Villa here. I think Villa is going to take care of business away, so that's where I'm going.
Yeah, listen, dude, I think there's one guy that's going to be the difference maker. You already know what I'm going to say. Dibu Martinez, man. Guy's been lights out. He's been great. He's been amazing. I mean, Villa fans literally would die for the guy. They love him to death. Yeah, give me Aston Villa.
All right, we got Paris Saint-Germain and versus Salzburg. Man, this is I'm not even going to mess around. Salzburg, I think they lose at home. PSG. The thing is, PSG struggles against teams of higher caliber, but they always take care of the teams they should beat. That's one thing I always give PSG credit is when it comes to teams they should beat, they usually always do it, and they're going to do it here. PSG wins.
Yeah, I agree with you, dude. Listen, PSG, we were talking about this with Real Madrid earlier, Julian. They're sitting outside right now. Real Madrid's actually barely in. PSG's not even in. So I think this is the gift that came a little bit earlier for Christmas. Yeah. So rolling into the year, obviously into 2025, they're going to need to look good, give their fans a little bit of hope. I think they're going to be fine. Obviously, this isn't Red Bull Leipzig. This isn't Red Bull Bragantino from Serie A in Brazil. This is Salzburg. Let's be real. They're not going to win, man. I hate to say it, but yeah, give me PSG.
Hey, they're in the Club World Cup, man. Future matchup. All right. Shakhtar Donetsk versus Bayern Munich. I'm just going to say Bayern Munich. They win pretty easily. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, I feel bad for Shakhtar. I don't even think they have a bad of a team, but the home field advantage, obviously, with everything going on right now.
A lack of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard. I think, but this Shakhtar team's good, man. I think they're really good. I almost want to call a little bit of an upset, maybe say there's a tie. Potentially Bayern Munich could slip up a little bit, but I got to say Bayern Munich, I think they'll be fine.
All right. Now for the Wednesday games, I think we can just roll through these next three. Atletico Madrid versus Slovan Bratislava. Atletico for me.
Give me some Bratislava.
Yeah,
Bratislava. Okay. You know who's winning. Cesar Blackman, baby. We represent. Hopefully does his thing.
Okay. Leo versus Sturm Graz. Leo, obviously, Sturm Graz not like good at all. AC Milan versus Red Star Belgrade. Milan, they're starting to catch form. They're playing well under Fonseca. Now they are finally. They've lost, but yeah, they've basically advanced over here. Now we start to get a little bit more interesting. We have Arsenal versus Monaco. I'll let you take this away. Who do you got?
Yeah, dude, give me Lille, give me AC Milan, and give me the other team in red playing in London, North London, man. He's not on the pod right now, but give me Adam's team, dude. Arsenal, they look well. They're Arsenal's has been this team this season, like in past seasons, honestly, Julian. I feel like they're just kind of under the radar. They're kind of just doing their job. They're kind of like that guy that just shows up to their 8 to 5, knocks out, clocks in his work, gets paid, leaves for the weekend. Yeah, he did his job. He did what he needed to do. Nobody's really talking too much about him. But give me Arsenal. Monaco's a good team, though. They're a really good team. So with Ben Seguin,
I like Arsenal at home as well. I do think it might be closer than we might anticipate. Monaco, like you said, I believe as well that they're a solid team. But Arsenal at home, I think it's just going to be a little too much, and they win. Now let's move over to Benfica versus Bologna. I'm going Benfica here. I like Benfica offensively. They've looked so good. Bologna, they can get Benfica some trouble. I think this is a pretty even matchup, but I do like Benfica at home. They've looked pretty damn strong, especially scoring offensively.
Yeah.
I'm going Benfica here.
Dude, Angel Di Maria might be 36, but he's playing like he's 16. I mean, he's got the freshest legs on the field than anybody else. He's been doing it all. Give me Benfica.
All right, we already talked about Dortmund and Barcelona. We're going to go Feyenoord versus Sparta Prague. I think Feyenoord cleans up Sparta Prague. That's my opinion. What do you got?
Yeah, listen, your boy's probably not going to play, and Jalen Mitchell might be riding the bench, but still, Feyenoord's going to win this game. I think they're just too much right now.
Now, this one's pretty interesting. It wasn't on our games of the week because we only had so much time, but we got Juventus versus Manchester City. Juve at home in Turin. City, they finally break their streak this past week, but they have not looked good at all. And man, I hope they need Rodri back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Man, this is an interesting game for me. I think this one ends up being a draw. This is my first draw here because if not a draw, Juve wins. I think City is not able to get a result away, especially with the way they've been looking against, honestly, worse competition than Juve. So I'm going to go draw here to play it safe because Juve doesn't give me a ton of confidence either.
Right.
So that's why, but I do like them at home, and I do think they might have the slight advantage at home being able to score a goal, but I'm going to go draw here.
Listen, I think this has got draw City written all over it, dude. I agree with you as well, man. I honestly have to say, Dusan Vlahovic, when you're playing against, Bomba Clap FC, this guy's going nuts. He's going crazy, dude. He's scoring hat tricks. He's scoring golassos. But against bigger teams, and we've already seen it in this Champions League, he's just not been, even in that first game when they played PSV back in Turin, obviously Nico Gonzalez, Weston McKennie scored that game. Other guys have performed. He's just been a little bit more sluggish. I don't want to say he hasn't been the best, but I think if Dusan Vlahovic doesn't have the best game, I think Juve is only able to put one past City. And I think genuinely, to be honest, I think City, even though, yes, down in the dumps, 7 games in a row, obviously the infamous line, stay humble, eh? Stay humble. Erling Haaland said it to Arteta himself. Listen, dude, I think City's humbled themselves. I think they've kind of gotten down to the dumps. Like you said, Julie, they haven't really seen this before. But, yeah, I think this has draw written all over it. Now, that final one, Stuttgart Young Boys, this is the game of the week. Obviously, we saved it best for last. No, I'm just kidding with you guys. Stuttgart is going to roll.
Stuttgart claps. Yeah.
rolling over him.
Stuttgart, another team I think flying under the radar. Even last year for sure, like no one was talking about because of the whole story of Leverkusen.
Yeah,
in fact, Stuttgart's here, but yeah, man. But yeah, that is it. I think we both got Stuttgart. But like I said, if you guys made it to the end of the podcast, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to listen on audio platforms, go check out those in the link down below. And we greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.